أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ما يهده الله فلا مضل له وما يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Verily all the praise, all of the thanks, all of our dedication and all of the reverences should be only for Allah Ta'ala. And I inwardly and I outwardly declare that there is la ma'bud bihaqqin illallahu tabarak ta'ala. There is no object, no deity, no essence, no entity that is deserving of worship except for Allahu Jalla fi'ullah. And I bear witness that Al-Amin, Al-Mustafa, Abu Qasim, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, As-Sadiq al-Masduq is the last of messengers sent to guide mankind from the darkness into the light. Love. He loves me. He loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. He loves me not. Love. Love. Love, ya ikhwani, ya akhawati, is something as a young boy I used to see my uncles buy lots of roses for their beloved. And then years later, we found out that the love wasn't as good as it should be. And they used to do this. He loves me not. She loves me not. The question is, ya ikhwan, ya akhawat, have you ever been in love before? Or have you ever loved someone? Love, I was told, it equals happiness as a young boy. This is what I thought growing up. I'm in love with a thief. I'm in love with a criminal. Someone that stole my heart, I'm in love. It's an action word. Harlequin books have been written about it. Songs have been written about it. Poems, poetry, castles built in the name of love. Gardens made in the name of love. Wars fought, huge wars where thousands of people died because one man loved the princess from another land. What is this thing called love? Bullseye. As it just passed us by, all my non-Muslim family, did you get chocolate? Did you buy your wife some flowers? I said, no. Ya Akhwani, some people are so in love, they're in what they call being drunk in love. Or stupid in love. Love can cause you pain. It can drive you insane. It can damage your brain. But devotion, love, and loyalty, enthusiasm, someone by your side. The question is, ya akhwan, who are you going to take as your beloved? Love is an action word. It is an intense influence feeling with deep affection. As you used to say, love's got a hold on me. I'm in a hold of love. I can't explain the way that I feel. I'm in love. You're heavy on my mind. I'm in love. Love is a mystery. Ya Akhwani, I've heard people say my whole life, I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my wife. I don't love my husband. I love my kids. I don't love my kids. But do you love yourself? Do you love Allah? This is where the real meaning is, ya akhwan. Many say that they love Allah Azza wa Jal, but does Allah love you and me? I love my shoes. I love my socks. I love my thobe, mashallah. I love my coat. I love my car. I love my watch, which I left at home today. I love my job. I love my city. I love my country. I've heard people say this, even from the Muslim community. How much time was spent? How much money was spent? How much loss of sleep did we lose because we were in love? How many of us have lost focus? How many of us have lost motivation from this thing called love? The complexities of love. Love can make you spin in circles, as I was brought up, ya akhwan. Growing up here in the West, I grew up with 8 DJs. So the amount of music that is entered into my head, you guys, as a Muslim community, you can't imagine. All these songs of love. All these songs of love that I grew up on. What is this thing called love? Ya akhwani, we have a situation where we got to sit and evaluate this thing. Because Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentions this in His book. And we need the medicine, ya akhwan. وقال الله تعالى, after I say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن الناس ما يتخذ من دون الله أندادا يحبونهم كحب الله والذين آمنوا أشد حبا لله. Allah Ta'ala goes on to say, still there are some who take others as Allah's equals. They love them as they should love Allah. But the real believers, they love Allah even more, ya akhwan. This muhabba, this thing that we're talking about, ya akhwan, this real love of Allah Azza wa Jal, I really believe that it's mostly in those books of the scholars from the past, and we need to learn what that is, ya akhwan. I'm talking to myself first and foremost. What is the love of Allah? So when we look at it, one of the sheikhs he wanted to say, in other words, love for others does not necessarily have to contradict with Allah's love, as long as we love others for the sake of Allah. Abu Hafs is my best friend. I love him for the sake of Allah. I don't like him or I don't care about him. I love him for the sake of Allah. I don't like him. I love him. And I tell people all the time, I don't like that sheikh. You don't like that sheikh? No, I don't like him. Why? Who are you? He's the big sheikh. Say, I don't like that sheikh. I love that sheikh. Oh. See how that word is, like and love? Tell your wife, yeah, I liked your food. It was all right. So, oh, I loved your food. You see, the word is more powerful. So it goes on to say, however, there are other forms of love that are warned to us, and these are the bad, prohibited forms of love, ya ikhwani. So we look at the situation. The Prophet ﷺ went on to say, لا تدخلوا الجنة حتى تؤمنوا ولا تؤمنوا حتى تهابوا ولا أدلكم على شيء إذا فعلتموه فتهاببتم أفشلوا السلام بينكم أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أخرجه صحيح مسلم. You will not enter into the paradise until you have iman, and you will not believe until you love one another. Love doesn't mean, ya akhi, that when you see me come and you're eating a steak and you give me a half of a samosa, brother. Bismillah. When I first became Muslim, some brothers were eating a whole bunch of steak. My first day, I met some brothers, they're eating steak and all kinds of stuff, and they looked on their plate and they took a little piece of samosa and they gave me crumbs off the table. That ain't love. Could have cut me a piece of that steak, I would have seen how much you love, because when you ate that steak and you didn't share it, it became a mistake because it wasn't fulfilling. So when we look at this situation, brothers, we will not enter into the Jannah. It's impossible until we start to love one another. And how we begin to do that is we have to learn how to spread the salams. I cannot tell you how many times me and my brother, we've been in different places and we put out our hands to the Muslims. Assalamu alaikum. And the Muslims say, MashaAllah, ya akhi. Akhi, assalamu alaikum, brother. I'm making dua for you. Alhamdulillah. Akhi, assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah. Akhi, assalamu alaikum, brother. May the peace of Allah be upon you and His blessings and His mercy. Maybe you might get a salam back. And I'm thinking, for coming from Jahiliyyah, when I was a young, strong man, if that would have happened back in the old days, maybe this fist might have connected with some people's job, because in the way we grew up as non-Muslims, if you're up front, not true to us, and you smile in our face, and you're not sincere, we say, hey man, there's something wrong with this guy. He's shiesty. That means there's no love there. So the question comes, ya ikhwan, is love just a word or is it an action? Love is when it gives you a piece of your soul, as one of the poets said, which is a little extreme, that you never knew was missing. I love you, akhi. MashaAllah, brother. When's the last time you said that to your children, your mother, your wife, your Muslim brother? Akhi, I love you for the sake of Allah. It goes a long way. Love hearts. Love heals. Love hurts. Love heals. Love is joy. Love is pain. Love never fails. This is what some of the poets that they say in North America. Do you love me? Do you love me? Then prove it to me. And ya ikhwani, there was a song back in the day. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. One of the very famous singers, they were Muslim for a while. I don't know if they're Muslim or not still. They had a song talking about love, and he bought her chocolate bars, and he bought her ice cream and a car and a diamond. And she said, what have you done for me lately? Now, for some people, they need to see love every single day. But love, ya ikhwan, is very conditional. And that's why we have the beautiful statement, ya ikhwan, of Hassan al-Basri, where on the authority of Hassan al-Basri, he said, Hubbu dunya ra'su kullu khatiyah. He said that, may Allah be pleased with him, love of the worldly life, it is the head of every sin. You're not supposed to love that much. You love a little bit, you care a little bit, but too much love. I know a brother, akhi, he used to spend every Saturday 10 hours working on his fancy hot rod car and no time with his kids. His kids wanted to play soccer. They wanted to have fun. They wanted to go to the park. Not right now. I'm working on my car. And the kids used to say, Dad, do you love the car more than you love us? And he said, go out there and go play. As the kids got older and the father got sick, what happened? The kids were busy with their life. They had no time to see their dad. And when their dad died, their dad wrote a little letter to them saying, I love my children. I wish I spent more time with them. So this shows you, brothers and sisters in Islam, that love, it's an action word. And if we don't take action, then we can't give the right satisfaction. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب الله ويرضى. Love. Do you love me? Do you care about me? This poor rose I decided to sacrifice for the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu for today. This rose here, ya ikhwani, this rose here, it's a message for us to understand that this is an action, that if you were to bring this home to your wife, she might start cooking the food without salt. As I've been told, a couple brothers said, the wife always cooks and the food is horrible. This is a fact. Brothers are complaining that their wives aren't cooking because maybe no roses are being brought home, brothers. This is another lesson for us all, okay? I have to buy my wife a nice rose, bring her some ice cream, bring her some chocolate, spend some time and talk to her. I've been told many times, how come you're not loving me like you did when you first were courting me? When you first were trying to get your wife, you had all the nice words, all the beautiful chocolates, all these nice things to say. But now you're married to your woman, your wife, your lover. Do you bring flowers to your wife and chocolates? Love me or leave me. Love me or leave me. This is what is known in society as false love or true love, depending on how you look at it, ya ikhwani. So when we look at the situation, a brother, he told me one time, and brotherhood, we really take it seriously, ya ikhwan. Brother, I got nothing but love in my heart for you, brother. But the brother, he tried to steal from me. He tried to rob me, break into my car. He backbit me. He slandered me. But he said those words, brother, I got nothing but love in my heart for you. So, ya ikhwani, the words that we're saying, they have to connect to our actions. Love can make you blue. Love can make you confused. Love can cause you pleasure, or love can cause you pain. And the question comes, my dear brothers, as a Muslim, how do we look at this? What's the psychology of this? And I see some brothers here, maybe they're thinking about what maybe they're gonna take their wife to the restaurant tonight, or take her on a trip, or do something, spend some time. The balance is this, ya ikhwan. And Abu Hurairah, qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And this hadith, ya ikhwani, I haven't found any hadith that has resonated more in my heart in these days and times. As my circle of friends is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, the Prophet went on to say, أحبب حبيبك حون ما عسى أن يكون بغيدك يوم ما وأبغض بغيدك حون ما عسى أن يكون حبيبك يوم ما. This hadith is in Tirmidhi, where the Prophet went on to say, love whom you love mildly and gently. Love them mildly and love them gently. Perhaps he will become hateful to you one day. And hate whom you hate mildly. For maybe one day they'll become beloved too, ya ikhwan. We're not supposed to go what they call too far to the right or too far to the left. We have to be wasit, yani, bayna tafrit wa ifrat. Not too far to the right, not too far to the left. But now when it comes to the beloved of our family members, ya ikhwan, we give them a little bit of extra love. I tell my mom, I love you. That's my mom. But my kids, I tell them, I only love you a little bit. I only love you a little bit every day for a lifetime. And we find, ya ikhwan, that this issue is something, as a new Muslim, one of the first things that I met some of the brothers, they tried to teach me a concept. It's not taught. Unfortunately, it's not taught in this time. When the Prophet went on to say, "Man ahabba lillah wa abghad lillah wa a'ta lillah wa mana' lillah faqad istakmal iman." Whoever loves only for the sake of Allah, and he hates only for the sake of Allah, he gives for the sake of Allah, and he withholds for the sake of Allah, he has perfected his iman. So when we look at this situation, ya ikhwan, these are just a few ayat, a few hadith. There's so much more. We could be talking about the love and romance of the Ummah Muhammad sallallahu for a long time. Talking about how the Prophet sallallahu, he loved his wives, he loved his children, he loved the Sahaba, and we can go on and on and on. But when's the last time, ya ikhwan, that you loved yourself first and foremost? You loved your mother, you loved your children. Right now, the most important person to me in the whole dunya is my mother. You only get one mother. You only get one father. Inshallah ta'ala, maybe you can get a new car, some new socks, you can get a new watch, but those are the most beloved to you, ikhwan. They're very precious. Make sure, inshallah ta'ala, that you show them love, not just say that you love them. Show them that you love them. With that, هذا ما عندي وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وأشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give us the love in our heart for His deen, for His book, for His month of Ramadan that's coming, for the Muslims that are all over the world, and for Islam and the success of Islam. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. Aqim Islam. Rahmakallah.